Alright, so working on the WK tonight. Let me show you what I got going on here. So, scraped the rear end on some rocks while we were off-roading, and you can see right here, oh geez, and you can see right there, peeled the cover up just a little bit and it's dripping. You can see the got some nice drips going on my floor, but yeah, so need to do something about that. This other side I had previously bent back when I was doing rattlesnake early in the year, and I ended up just pulling the cover off and putting a whole bunch more sealant in. Well, now of course we got the other side, so I'm going to take this cover off and see if I can maybe trim it back a little so it doesn't hang over so much, because you can see right here how it kind of hangs over the edge right there, and there's just spots that it can get caught on rocks, like right there. Doesn't need to hang over. Down here, all this doesn't need to hang over. So I'm going to take it off, see if I can trim it back a little bit and flatten it out and get it sealed back up. You don't want to pry super hard on the cover because you don't want to bend your cover, but I'm just gonna work this in right along the edge. And there we go. Just get that in there and it pops it right out. See, I put a whole crap ton of gasket on the bottom the last time, because I'm saying that edge right there got bent up pretty good. So we're going to see what we can do about that. Now we got this edge. Alright, so now I'm going to take it back under the Jeep and line it up and try and mark where I think I can cut off this entire, like it's got this little lip right here. I think I can get rid of that and it'll just be right to here. But I'm going to line it up and see. Alright, so yeah, like I was saying, I can take everything off from this little lip that's flipped out, or about maybe up to this hole. Just take that off, because it doesn't exist on the bottom, and on the bottom it's flush. You can see, yeah, the lip kind of ends right here, and it's flush along the bottom, so if I just take this lip and trim it off, it's still going to have plenty of metal, maybe up to about right above that hole on either side. Should be good. There's no way I should be hitting that far. Pretty much like, I'm just going to go to like the midline, so it's right under the axle tube. Because on this other side, really all I need to do is trim this little bit up to about here, to that first hole there, and the first hole on the other side, and it should be fine. That is so much better. Look at that. I think I want to get that little bit right there still, because that can catch right in there. Easily within that. I might trim a little more too, because if something comes in at an angle. Yeah. This little chunk taken out right there. That's good enough. Alright, I trimmed a little more off. Let's see how it fits now. Beautiful. That's plenty of clearance now. See that? Now it doesn't overhang at all there. Plenty of metal there. No overhang on the bottom. This is good. That's all nice and inside there. Yep. That's good too right there, see? That looks good. That should not catch on anything because that's, it'll hit this first. So I think that'll do nicely. Yep, that's flush with the bottom. It's still, depending on how I scrape it, I guess it could catch that, but I'm going to leave that alone because I think it'll just scrape right across it and it'll be fine. So now I'm going to pull it off, clean the rest of the gasket off of the housing, and then get some new gasket on here. So, I know I mentioned this in a previous video, maybe, but anyway, you notice what I'm using to scrape this is a hose clamp. I find it works really well because it's compact and the edge is sharp and stiff, and you can just kind of push the thing right along the flat surface like that and scrape off any gasket that remains on there. So I just found that works really well. And like, you want to get it as clean as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect because that's what the gasket's for, is to fill in any imperfections. But you know, the more you can get off, the better, because that'll help make a better seal the next time. And if a little bit of that gasket falls in there, it's not going to hurt anything because it's just silicone and it's not going to hurt the gears at all. You know, you want to try not to get any dirt or anything in here, but little bits of silicone isn't going to hurt anything. Alright, that is pretty much cleaned up. I'm gonna go get some gasket on the new one. Getting this on without smearing it everywhere. Get a couple lined up. Okay, basically hold itself now. So this is Permatex Ultra Gray, and I just double checked, and the instructions say finger tighten it while it's wet, and then wait an hour, and then tighten to torque specs. So that's what I'm going to do. I've seen a lot of people use Permatex Right Stuff, which I guess is like an hour or 90 minute, and so I may try that next time. But this is what I had right now, so this is what I'm using right now. And I'm just tightening them down until I feel just a little bit of resistance. You can see just a little bit of the gasket maker coming out there, which is perfect. That's what you want. You just want it to make sure it's contacting everywhere, just barely. Now I'm just going back around until they all feel about the same. Alright, I'll be back in an hour to tighten those down. Alright, it's been about an hour, so torque these bolts down. Got them all snug down pretty good with the wrench. Now I'm going to torque them. I'm going to 30 foot-pounds, which seems to be pretty universal for diff cover bolts. They don't have to be super tight, just tight enough that, you know, the gasket's squished down there good. So now I just gotta fill it up. When you're filling one of these up, pretty simple. Take the plug out. This one's got a rubber plug, some of them have a threaded plug, whatever, same thing. And then fill it up until it just starts running out of the hole. Alright, so depending on what we're in, what diff you got, if you have a limited slip, then you want to add limited slip additive or use fluid that's already set up for limited slips. I'm using Redline Synthetic, which says that for hypoid limited slip differentials, blah blah blah. So anyway, it's designed for limited slip, and it says on the fine print somewhere, extra friction modifiers are included for use with limited slip. Additive not required unless chatter occurs. So I'll just use this, and you know, if it chatters or makes noise, then you can always put some additive in afterwards. But if you're not using fluid that has those additives in it, and you do have the limited slip differential, you definitely want to add the additive to it, because otherwise your limited slip will chatter. I don't know. I know this one has the limited slip because it's got the Quadra-Drive 2 four-wheel drive system, which has electronic limited slip in the front and rear. I don't know what other four-wheel drive systems they necessarily did or did not put it in. So check your vehicle and see if it's got a limited slip in it. You can tell on this one when I had it off, I should have pointed to it, but there's a wire going in, because this, like I said, is an electronic limited slip. I don't know if they had other limited slips that aren't electronic. I'm not really sure. I just know this one has the limited slip. So you can feel it just below the hole. So I'm going to put a little more in. It looks like it's coming out, but that's because it's coming back on this thing too. So getting near the bottom of my, but there we go, perfect. Now you can see it's really flowing out there, which means it's up to the level of the hole. So that means it's full, which is perfect because I was just running out. I got more of this, but that's all there was in this bottle, so perfect timing. All right, put the plug back in. Wipe it off with a rag, which I don't happen to have on me. Should be good to go. That's about it. Let it dry completely. I don't know. I'm gonna let it dry overnight. I don't know how long you have to let it dry, but that should be about it. And hopefully that'll take care of my leak, and I shouldn't catch my cover on anything anymore, hopefully.